Hello.
Welcome to the Yowie Shelf Live.
Welcome. Happy Halloween
Happy Halloween.
live. Yes.
Uh, so Hitalia won.
Italia won something.
Hitalia won. I've been getting a horrifying amount of Hitalia on my TikTok feed, and it's either Puritans that are horrified or people that are like still true believers, some of them young, and are just like doing their fucking best. And I'm like, you go, kid. Cosplaying Hitalia in 2024 like I am. It's like, you
Yes.
do it. But everyone's cosplaying America, which, as an American, chill the fuck out. We don't have anything to be excited about yet. We still have a few. We have a week or two before we get to decide if we get to be excited yet.
I am so afraid.
I voted yesterday.
Good.
I voted
I
yesterday
mean, not that I thought that you wouldn't.
after going to the gym because I'm a gym bro now.
Austria, the gym bro.
It is so out of character. I don't think he would know what to do with gym equipment.
No.
Like, I'm imagining him stumbling upon Precious and just being confused.
Mm.
In all fairness, Precious is also confused because I don't see him using his equipment.
I can see him using some equipment, but not.
Stop trying to remove my cravat for debauchery.
No. I can't. I don't.
I thought that no was going to be an insistence of innocence, not I will continue to debaucherize you.
Yes, I will.
Hi, thank you.
Hello. Thank you.
You guys get no hair curl because it would have been smashed right here anyways. I tried so hard, and then it was like, short of sticking a pipe cleaner into this wig, you are not getting a hair curl, and this is not 2005.
But it could be. No, I feel like all of my senses are dulled. Like, I have so much eye makeup, and like, my contacts are new. Like, this is my first time wearing this pair. So, like,
Yes.
everything is, like, blurry. I feel like all of my senses, because I already don't have a sense of smell. So now, it's like...
Just a wandering creature.
Yeah. But yeah, hello. I am Poland.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honestly, though, I cannot imagine Poland and Austria in the same room.
No.
I'm not sure who would try to kill who first. But there would be UK violence.
Oh yeah. I think Austria would win. I think Poland would make... Poland is like a chihuahua, and he would make a lot of noise and be very like, fight me, bitch. And then, hi, Nika. And then, get
And then
dragged.
Austria would actually like flex some of the might that he has. And then like, oh shit!
Also, like, Poland, like, come on, fight me, bro. Lithuania, get him.
Let's say like literally uses Lithuania as a human shield. And then at that point, Austria is just confused. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Because he can't use the Holy Roman Empire as a shield anymore. Oh, Hitalia.
Oh, Hitalia.
You did so much, and
and yet.
So little. Yeah, you did so much, but also...
Good lord. Yeah. No.
Speaking up, we talked about performative angst this month.
Stressed noises. Yes.
Distressed noises. One of the big things that I keep thinking about looking back at the episode is that like really, really fine line between just being a teenage edgelord and like genuine morbid curiosity. Because I feel like there's like, it's like a very thin line, and the two are often on the same wavelength. The problem is what happens, I think, after you find the thing. Because I've been
Yeah.
morbidly curious. I listen to a lot of true crime, and it's like you can find images online, but they're really, graphic and gory. And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
can handle it.
Yeah.
And then it's like you just ripped apart bodies and shit.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes.
Canonically, though, can we agree that Austria would be a true crime girly?
Yes, I think so. I think so.
I think he would. I think he'd sit at home watching his stories and just
And then I think meanwhile Poland would be like, "Oh my god, who would listen to like true crime when you can
why
listen
are
to
you listening to like murder?
the beauty influencers?"
Okay, Poland watching Nikki tutorials.
Absolutely. I love Nikki though.
I love
She's
Nikki. That was not shade. I love Nikki.
oh yeah.
She taught me what to do with my hooded eyes. I'm very morbidly curious. Exactly. Like there's that really, really thin line is like being a teenage edgelord and then like
Mm-hmm.
immediately backing off and then like continues to stare.
Oh
That happens so much though.
yeah.
Yeah, it is like
Yeah.
the dead dove bag. You have to check.
It's like, yeah, I know what it says,
Yeah.
but also it's the thing where it's like when when you have that friend who has to like see with their hands, who has to touch everything. That's
Yes.
me, except I have to just like I have to see for myself. I have to confirm.
And I think like that's what's so interesting about like dead dove and like tagging and like we had this discussion. We talked about tags and tagging. Is that like one man's dead dove is another man's very much living dove.
Uh-huh.
I've read fics tagged dead dove, and it's like this is it.
Yeah, but like I said, like I feel like these days a lot of things are tagged dead dove that are just
That
like
are not dead doves.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and exactly like that's why it's so. That's why tagging always feels so weird because like I'm gonna start publishing a long form series again soon, so I have to worry about tags. I'm not gonna have any dead doves in mine, but like thinking about how much I need to label and how much needs to be said has been on my mind. But
Mm.
yeah, one man's dead dove is another man's very much alive bird.
You are correct. Yes.
Because I've been reading some of what you kids consider dead doves. That's just a pigeon. That's not a dead dove.
Yeah. It's not even a slightly lame pigeon.
No, it's just a bird.
It's just a bird.
It has like bird crust around its. It
Like
has like
I
bread
think
crust around its neck. Like it's just a bird.
it's like
It's just
it's
hanging
like
out.
I said, like that, just because it might be your squick, like you wrote a pairing that you normally don't like. That is not a dead dove.
Someone trying to force me to write Ren and Haru.
Why are you so mean?
I don't like them together, Carola.
But they're perfect.
Small judgmental noises.
You can't phase me. I am too fabulous for this.
I think that's true, but
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that a lot because like I also tend to think that I'm morbidly curious, but then yeah, usually I can stick through it.
Hmm.
I don't back down easily. Being in the funeral industry makes it hard to not have morbid curiosity.
All right, you're in the funeral industry.
I was in the funeral industry for years.
Yeah.
Though I did have things I drew the line at. You very interested all of a sudden.
Tell me.
I did not like seeing a lot of like fresh guests.
Mm,
And it wasn't necessarily like a gore issue. It was like this is someone's loved one.
yeah.
And I don't want to be gawking at them.
Fair.
And sometimes I'm so desensitized, I forget. Yes!
Yeah.
We didn't talk about desensitization much. So that means we probably should today.
Yeah.
Um,
Good lord.
yeah, that callus sometimes. You just keep poking at it, and then one day it does not bleed,
Uh-huh.
and suddenly you're ankle deep in someone's dead dove fic, and you feel nothing. What is the most recent dead dove I read? I read.
I don't know.
I actually don't read a lot of dead dove for fun anymore.
Anymore. I also don't really.
I
Uh,
Well, that's where the performative angst comes in. I was reading it like I was in a fucking challenge. It was the Dead Dove Olympics, and I had to prove my worth.
yeah,
But now, when I'm given freedom, I don't read a lot of dead dove.
it's kind of like that thing, where it's like, I can't wait to be an adult when I can decide my own bedtime, and then it turns out your bedtime is actually 9. Not me
Okay,
though. I never go to bed.
in a completely not shocking revelation, my last dead dove was Toto Cest.
Mm. But yeah, but like that's another thing, and I think we talked about that in that episode when we did talk about the dead doves. That
Mm-hmm.
incest fix didn't necessarily like incest did not equal dead dove
Mm-hmm.
necessarily, and now it
No,
is, and I'm like, if it was a dead dove, like someone was like getting their organs like gauged out or something.
that's true. Yeah, this is only dead dove because of the incest. What was my last dead dove because of crime?
That was a regular Tuesday.
Yeah, that's just a bird. Toto Cest is just canon. I don't know what you're
You.
talking about. That's nobody's dead dove. It was
Well,
good
clearly
Toto Cest though.
that's good.
Not the bad gross Toto Cest.
Which one is the good one?
I don't know. The pairing I was reading was Shoto and Inji.
Of course. No, I would prefer
I
Shoto.
can help you.
No! Don't mind me, I'm just putting on my sparkly lip gloss.
Who are you shipping the fictional child with?
I mean, I'm not particularly shipping them, but like, I would, in that case, I would see Shoto and Toya just for the hell of it.
Does killing stalking count as dead dove? Yes.
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 If it was a fanfic, I think very much yes.
Yes.
It's so good though.
Yeah, like I think okay, big thing. Dead dove does not equal bad.
No! Sometimes I'm disturbing.
Yeah.
I
There
think
was No, go ahead.
No, I think a lot of the dead doves like that I read recently are just like there's this one fic writer I follow who has
Mhm.
like a lot of like very deranged like sex, and there's always like in their own words it's like there's gonna be piss in this, and there's like a lot of that, so they tag it as dead dove,
Mhm.
and it's like okay, fair, but
That's an excellent dead dove. That's a beautiful dead dove. It's one of my favorite dead
I'll
doves.
bet that there's a lot of fluff in that fandom still though.
There is. There's a lot of like totally normal, like, oh, Hannibal is just cooking like a normal dinner. And it's like, I get it. I love Fluffy Fix It. I'm doing that right now with Matt and Mello, where we just
Mm.
completely remove all the supernatural and weird elements out of this show. And it's just a romantic comedy. I
Yeah,
love that. But there's something so particular about doing it with Hanagram that feels wrong.
I just feel like I would be a little nervous if Hannibal was my boyfriend and he invited me to dinner. I'd be like, "Who is this?
Well, and that's
Who
the
are we?"
thing. Like, it has to make Will complicit, and no one's ready to have that conversation.
Hmm.
No one's ready to have the conversation that Will is just as complicit as Hannibal is, but that's fine. Keep making him a fluffy, fluffy princess who has no agency at all. He just happened to find this hot murderer. Mm, I don't have
As
feelings about this.
as one does.
I don't have. You just happen to find a hot murderer, and he's there.
Mm.
Um, I think my last true dead dove was It was either Jason Todd and Tim Drake, or it was Dobby Hawks, because of course it was.
Of course.
Listen, I love fics that start off as fluffy dinner. Exactly. Like, it can start as like a fluffy dinner, and then it needs to end like full Wendigo sacrifice. Like,
I
it
mean,
can't.
especially if you have like murder husbands,
Yes.
you know? I was like, wait, I didn't actually end up reading it because I fell asleep immediately upon going to bed, so I should still have it open.
Mm-hmm.
Tags I saw yesterday. Let's see, I think it's this one. Is it? Am I crazy?
Are you crazy?
I mean, yeah. Well,
Correct.
that's not it. Where is it? This one? Yes, it's like the first tag is domestic bliss, followed by rape, murder, revenge, post mafia. Ah, yes, domestic bliss.
Yeah, that sounds like my Matt and Mellow fic.
After all the murder and
Yeah, after all the murder and everything. Because I read a lot of the same author, I get a lot of Wank and Tell, which I still don't know how to feel about. Even though I just tagged a fic Wank and Tell, I'm again morbidly curious.
of course.
I want to know. I got one response once when I tagged a fic Wank and Tell, and I was just like, this is brilliant, but also I'm a terrible person. Like, I need to go back to church.
That's just the Catholic guilt talking.
And I need to return.
Would your edgelord teenage self have Catholic guilt?
Oh, very much so.
Oh.
I think that's where a lot of it started, was Catholic guilt. This is now just therapy. But yeah, a lot of it started as guilt and shame, because so right now I'm going through this thing where my aunt's imaginings of my teen years are very different than what happened.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I remember.
in her head, she was super supportive and like totally chill, and she was none of those things. So a lot of the stuff I did was fully just, one, rebellion, and two, oftentimes not knowing any better. It's easy to turn to the cabal of horrible hentai bros, but also I had my own chip on my shoulders, and I was determined to prove how adult and big I was.
Mm-hmm.
That turned out great for me.
I mean, you're here.
I'm physically here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, here, you're like running this show. Like, that's a win.
Yes. I think so. I've learned a lot.
Mm.
I love Dead Dove so much. I'm so fascinated by it, especially as it morphs and moves. Because, yeah, like, our definition of Dead Dove back in the day, it was, oh, this is a snuff film. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, our definition of Dead Dove was very different. And now any hint of a darker theme is a Dead Dove.
I'm just trying to imagine, like, some of the things I'm into now, you know? But, like, with the dead doves of our generation. And I'm just like, that's...
And keep in mind, we had, like, full snuff fics that weren't even tagged Dead Dove. That was just Tuesday.
You know, yeah, and I swear, I am one of the lucky ones. I feel like I very rarely encountered a lot of this.
I got all of them, I guess.
Yeah, you was like, it wasn't evenly distributed. It was like,
no, I got all of them. Thanks. It was it's interesting, like, having to go back and, like, think about that part of your fandom experience, because, you know, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and it does make you, I don't want to say I've ever romanticized that early fic part of my life, because, like, I've talked about how many times fic were just, like, traumatizing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, it's character now. It's character building. As someone who was raised in a very restrictive Christian household, I think it caused me to push more boundaries than I should have. Yes,
Hmm.
this 100%.
Yeah, I was
This
just thinking
completely.
about that because, like, if you don't have a lot of personal freedom, like if there is a lot of restrictions around you, then you're
Hmm.
gonna want to break more rules. Like I was a very free teenager, and I mean, I didn't do a lot of things that were like caused any worry. So I was allowed to do a lot of things, and so I didn't feel like breaking a lot of rules and pushing a lot of boundaries.
And I pushed a lot of boundaries. I wasn't just like the worst kid. Like I didn't do a lot of the drinking and the smoking or the drugs. I do maintain though at this stage drugs would be cheaper. Uh, they would probably be cheaper than my collection of 2D men. But
This is what I tell myself with every manga haul that comes in. It could be drugs. It could have been drugs.
at least I'd lose weight with the drugs. But yeah, like I had a pretty restrictive teenage years, and uh, I sure was pushing boundaries left and left because none of it was right.
Hmm. Oh, nice.
Um, and again, it makes it even more interesting now, like my aunt's funny retellings of like, "Oh, I was always supportive of you." No, you weren't. Why are you lying? Why are you lying in public? Shush. Yeah.
But like, it's like we talked about in our personal chat. Like sometimes they just make up their own version of the truth.
She's done that 100%, and it's so weird to me because she'll just be like, "I always understood." No, you what? My favorite is, "We always knew you were queer."
Did you?
Did you? Please, because I didn't figure it out until I was like 16 years old.
That's not a like that is like the it's like they didn't actually, but it's like
Yeah.
we want to win. So
Yes,
it's like of course we knew.
of course we
What kind
knew.
of what
We
kind of
always
parental
knew.
figures would we be?
Right. With all of my history of dating men, why
Mm.
would they ever think? Mm. But yeah, I'm so fascinated by this topic because I think what makes it so tantalizing to me is that there was the social component that
Mm.
you had to keep up with the Joneses. You had to eat as many dead doves as your friend did. Yes.
No, it was just very on brand, but it wasn't keeping up with the Joneses. It was keeping up with the Jonestowns. That's what we were doing. I'm sorry.
We're going to revisit this topic when we're not live.
I know.
Uh,
I'm
I don't know why I
sorry.
turned to a dad. That was weird. But it wasn't so much just like keeping up with the Joneses. It was also very much proving to yourself.
Mm.
Like it's one thing. It's like I am a bird nerd. I don't know if you guys have figured it out yet. I'm a bird nerd. I like
Are
birds.
you? Really?
Shut it. The white eyeliner made that so painful to me. Just the white under the eye made that so much snarkier. But
What?
it accentuated the comments. But like one of my favorite things in watching birds is when they'll do these like threat displays,
Mm.
but like in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
Like they have to fight the other bird in the cage. The other bird is them.
Mm.
That's sort of what this experience has
Yeah,
felt
no,
like.
literally.
Is yes, we do have to do this display of dominance in front of others. They can't perceive us as weak, but also we can't perceive ourselves as weak.
No.
So we have to run through the disembowelment porn to prove strength.
What is wrong with us? Okay, I know the list is long,
The list is long.
but like, I think yeah, it definitely has some roots in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it has, and you mentioned it during the main episode, I think it has a lot of roots also in just old fashioned misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
That especially females assigned at birth and women weren't allowed to like things. Like, I've really had to do like a come to Jesus about a lot of the things that I used to hate when I was a teenage, not like other girls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't get to be super obsessive about like anime if I ignore people that are obsessive about Twilight. I can still not like those books, but if I get to be obsessive over something just because it's a boy thing, doesn't mean that I am allowed to tear down other people's experiences.
Yeah.
Um, so I think a lot of it was just good old fashioned misogyny, which we need to have an entire BL misogyny episode
Woohoo!
because there's two fronts of BL misogyny.
And you know, it is an ongoing, never ending, very poorly informed conversation. Screams.
I want to know what's on like the anti calendar for anime that they pick to be upset about, because I feel like there's so many titles out there that are like objectively fucking weird.
You know, there is one series that is airing right now, and to be fair, I've been busy slash exhausted, so I haven't really been on the internet much. So maybe there's been a discussion on it and I haven't seen it, but there's this anime that's airing right now that is like, my wife became a grade schooler or something.
Yeah, she became an
And
elementary schooler.
yeah, and I feel like when I saw that title announced, I was like, well, the antis are gonna have. Or I was like, are they gonna have a field day with this, or are they gonna ignore it because it's not gay?
Or it's not, I guess, popular enough. I don't know.
I mean, I
I'm
know
a
nothing
metal
about it.
I'm a metalhead, so I can relate to having to prove I deserve to be somewhere. Exact. Oh my
Oh
god. Yes.
God, no! Don't do that.
There's so much there's so much proving that you deserve to be in a space.
Just like,
Stairs and gatekeeping.
yeah,
Like, there was always so much effort that you deserve to be in a space. And I think, again, to bring up that misogyny conversation, a lot of that like shock and awe culture was very male driven.
mm.
Not to say there weren't women in that shock and awe culture. I mean,
But we were there.
we were well, I was actually thinking about Anna Nicole Smith's ice sculpture,
Yeah.
which is a reference I'm probably going to have to explain, isn't it?
You might. I mean, I remember it, but I am also ancient.
Wow, the old gay remembers Anna Nicole Smith's ice sculpture. Shocking developments
I
at
know.
11.
You know,
The old
so
gay
good.
remembers.
Wow. Another hot take on the hour shelf.
So Anna Nicole Smith, who was wronged by everyone who looked at her,
Mm-hmm.
held a party in which there was a giant, almost life-size statue of her made of ice that acted as a luge that you could pour a shot into her mouth and like slurp it out of her ice vagina.
Which, you know,
It's iconic.
Yeah, and like, would I have done that with like a model sculpture of myself? No. Would I
No.
do it with an actual ice sculpture? Yes, that is
Yes.
amazing. As
Like-
long as I could drink something non-alcoholic out of the ice vagina.
Yeah, we'll get you like some cranberry juice or something.
Thank you.
A little Fanta. Just all right, like iconic behavior.
Right? Like, woman, I mean, why not?
Truly iconic behavior. There were,
Things
of course,
Poland would do, actually.
Austria would die. You would explode.
welcome to my party, Austria. Do you want to drink out of my
That
ice
poor,
sculpture?
that poor repressed man would implode. He would
Oh no!
not know what to do with himself.
Both the Italies would be there having a great time.
Both the Italy's are having way too much fun.
Austria just dies.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Is that not canon correct, though?
Absolutely is.
He would just pass away.
Oh no.
That'd be the thing that finally kills him.
Yeah, that's the end. That is the end of Austria, the superpower. Just like sees Poland's ice sculpture, dies.
Oh my god. But women definitely did drive parts of shock and awe culture, but it was usually towards the sexual end.
Yeah.
Yes, the canonical death of Austria. Um, it was usually towards the sexual end again in Nicole Smith's ice vagina, which, again, iconic.
Oh yeah.
And I have nothing negative to say about her. Also, we should reopen those files into her death.
Maybe we should. I mean, maybe not we, but someone.
No, I am going to take off this wig and I'm going to go into the case.
I mean, you do give off a kind of like lawyerish vibe with those glasses.
They're not my favorite pair of fake glasses, but I don't hate them.
Are they real glasses?
They're real glasses, just with plastic lenses.
Okay.
Because I have perfect vision.
I also have perfect vision for now. Because I'm gonna go blind, and that
Eventually.
Yeah, like there can. And you can make your own assumptions on what that means. I think it is the reading in the dark. Personally.
Ooh. I think it's the staring at screens all day for me.
I had a discussion. Actually, I've had this discussion many times with my grandma because I keep telling her I'm going to go blind. And then she's like, oh, but I didn't have to, I had great vision until I got cataracts and, whatever age. And
no.
And then I'm like, okay, but you're the one who keeps telling me that you didn't start reading books until you were 30. I am so ahead of you.
That might be an issue.
Yeah, I'm going to go blind. I live in a dungeon and I read constantly. Goodbye.
Yeah, mine's going to be the multiple screens all hours of the day.
Oh, God.
But there is this interesting intersection between that misogyny and patriarchal shape with that early 2000s shock culture. Because, again, like when I think about early 2000s shock culture, it's men who are driving it.
Yeah.
It's Howard Stern. It's Jackass. It's all those.
Fucking Jackass.
I loved Jackass.
Oh, the trauma.
I loved Jackass.
Like, I would have loved Jackass if it wasn't for all the triggering content.
I mean, that's fair. There is a lot of triggering content, and I don't even have the phobia.
Yeah, no. I enjoy watching dumb men injure themselves as much as anyone.
I do too. It is a little sad, though, now, because Johnny Knoxville will talk about it, and it's like, I can't move.
Well, who would have seen that coming?
It's funny, because Johnny Knoxville will do interviews now, and it's like, yeah, everything is kind of broken.
Strange.
Right.
It's kind of like our minds after years of this.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine. Like, I am arguably fine.
I'm okay.
Then again, I think you've definitely seen more stuff than I have.
Well, and I think it's that desensitization issue that bothers me the most. Because now, when something does get under my skin and does bother me, it usually creates a much stronger reaction.
Yeah.
It's, again, I compared it to a callus for a reason. Because, I have a bit of a callus on my thumb from a prior injury. So, because I cut my thumb open cutting peaches.
As one does.
In the South. So I have a callus where the scar is and where my fingerprint had to regrow. So there's this little spot on my thumb that's not quite as reactive as my other fingers. But when something does penetrate through that callus, it's hypersensitive underneath. It hurts.
Hmm.
So I feel that way with media a lot. That it's like I've been so desensitized to some things that when something does finally like crack the barrier, devil man crybaby, it hurts so
Yeah.
much more. And,
Yeah.
there's a part of me that, as, a creator is like, that's brilliant. That's exactly what I want. This is what art should be. It should be transformative. It should be pain. And, then there's the sad, traumatized child within me who's just like, there's this sad, traumatized kid who's just afraid and doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think that part of the whole performative angst issue is interesting. But if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about the episode, please feel free to let us know. I think it was one of our uh I'm not gonna say it was one of our best conversations. I think out of all of the conversations that we've had, it goes up in the list of like one of the most necessary for me.
Yeah.
Especially being able to like put a name to it. Because
Absolutely.
it's a demon we've fought.
Yeah.
Let's see, that's true. I'm more aware of what will upset me and know to avoid them unless I feel like upsetting myself. Yes. I also learned that was a very, very common, that's a very, very common issue if you have complex PTSD, which, hello, raise his hand. If you have CPTSD, because you are unwilling to let yourself be emotional because of being afraid of showing weakness, you will use sad media almost as a self-harm tool
Yeah.
to induce emotional feelings, which fuck, I didn't know that I was doing that, but I do it a lot. Like there's an episode of House that I know will make me cry. And if I haven't cried in a while, I will put on that episode of House and let the emotions take me.
I mean, that sounds kind of healthy.
It's not.
Okay. Because I was just like thinking, like, sometimes you just need a good cry and you can just like,
So it's an emotional regulation issue because like
mm,
typically you aren't holding in that ability to cry so much that you like have to turn on a switch and make it go off. In theory, you shouldn't be that heavily policing your emotions. In theory,
mm.
so it's an emotional dysregulation issue. But that was fun figuring out like, oh, everything is a symptom of being a trauma survivor. Thank you.
Woohoo. Yeah.
Everything is a symptom of being a trauma survivor, including my love for very specific sad episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
A lot.
I think I used to do that a lot when I was younger, but like
Mhm.
I think it was more because I was severely mentally ill, but like,
Mhm.
it was very like, okay, severe, that sounds extreme, but like I was mentally ill. I was
Mhm.
also physically ill, and people weren't taking me seriously, and I was struggling a lot with it, and it was kind of like getting that emotional outlet through like triggering myself with sad
Mhm.
films or sad, like series or stories, because that was a legitimate feeling. Like people could understand why I was upset about that when they couldn't understand why I was upset about, living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I used to have worse issues with that when I was younger and then again when I got into college, which I had zero emotional regulation. I just kept working until
Healthy.
one day I was catatonic.
That, I mean, yeah, that's what I meant earlier when I said like the world will nerf you, That is it.
I I I ignored my feelings so hard that I went catatonic one day and my anime clubbers had to break into my dorm to make sure I ate.
Yeah. Such healthy uh
For reference, I canceled a meeting. I did not cancel a meeting when I had fucking pneumonia. I kept performing.
Of
So
course
they
they
were
did.
worried about me.
Oh my god.
It's like, oh, if pneumonia is not enough to cancel a meeting, what the fuck is going on?
You know, I actually think that that's a little worrisome because I keep seeing people I know, like when I was a kid, like when I was younger, pneumonia sounded incredibly serious. And now I keep seeing people are like, oh yeah, I have pneumonia. I'm like, why are you here?
So there's two kinds of pneumonia. There's well, there's more than two. The big ones are, is it viral or is it an infection? Typically viral pneumonia comes off more like walking pneumonia where it's like really really bad bronchitis, you will live. It's
Mm,
when it's an infection from something
yes.
else, or aspiration pneumonia is when it's like, oh, this is what killed people during the Victorian era.
Mm,
So most of the time I had walking pneumonia, which came from being a gross college student. Uh, CPTSD sucks, but digging through uncomfy media helps me recognize the emotions and learn to recognize them and how to get a healthy. Yes, this very much that. Like, I think one of the things also about like my relationship with a lot of like uncomfy media is it helps me mirror what my reaction should be in comparison to others.
mm.
Because when you've been through a lot at a young age, sometimes your reactions are just like completely off kilter to people around you. So yeah, like using uncomfortable media to gauge like, oh, this should be outrageous to me. It's not.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's kind of similar to when you are neurodivergent and you
Mm-hmm.
have a hard time like processing and recognizing emotions. And, you know, you do the whole masking and like, this is
Mm-hmm.
how I should be responding or should be feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a similar
No, exactly. Like it's
mechanism.
literally that. It's, oh,
Yeah.
I'm everyone else is shocked. I should be shocked too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is fine. this, this is
Yeah,
fine.
but I think that that's like, and that's the difference, right? Because when we were the
Mm-hmm.
young edge lords, if someone were like, "This is terrible," that's when you put on the smug face and you were like, "You think this is bad? You should have seen the, you know, whatever I
Right.
watched last week." You know, actually, me as a teen.
Yes. I used to laugh when people said shit I experienced was fucked up. Same. Same. There were many an instance where I would tell a story from my childhood and like tell it with joy, like, oh, this is a fun thing that happened, and then it's like, oh, sweetie, no,
Mm.
sweet baby, no, that's not okay. Also, breaking news: someone just put up Full Metal Alchemist smut on my smut Twitter, but it's Ed topping Roy, and that's distressing to me.
I am a traditionalist.
He's too short.
He's too young.
It breaks all seme uke law.
Yeah, like you do you, but also
Yeah, I'm not here to shame this creator, but I am distressed by this content.
see things that distress you. Actual like traumatic dead
Actual
yes, no, that's fine.
traumatizing incidences.
It's like breaking Semeuke laws.
It's like I was like pearl clutching. It's like what?
No, but I know. I know.
Ed on top? That's not allowed.
We have rules.
We have rules.
We used to be a
That's
proper country. I am watching you, Ren. Be
I, mm,
no, but like I can enjoy subversion, but I have but then with some things I'm just like, no.
I think I forget how much I mold characters to fit my very narrow definition of Semeuke law. Like canonically, I talked about this in Discord last night. My post time skip Mello doesn't have a scar, so he did whatever he needed to avoid that fire and escaped, still being a Bishonen.
Yeah.
Also, somehow, despite I think Mello being an inch taller, I've made Matt taller. In all fairness, we rarely get to see him stand.
That is correct.
So maybe
This is true. I also think that Mello definitely is the type, like, he wears high heels. He wears
like those are
platform
lifted.
shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I forget sometimes how rigid of a devotee I am to Seme
Mm.
Uke Law, because like I did it with all the Batman characters, or I somehow because like most modern stories have Jason Todd being taller than Dick Grayson, and I could not abide by that. That is not something I can stand by idly and let happen. Just, sometimes you got to hit a character with the UK beam. Just make him shorter and prettier. Just make him shorter and prettier and more useless. You just got to hit him with the UK
And
beam.
more useless. There are assertive Ukis out there.
Toma Seiguchi.
I thought we'd already established. Toma tops.
He doesn't top Ryuichi.
I'm gonna
We have to consult some text. We have to go
I
back
have
to
to go back
Holy
and consult the holy texts.
It's like during the Council of Nicaea, where it's like which books go into the Bible.
Oh,
We have to consult. We have to consult the text. We don't know if this is true. He does not. There's. I'm sorry. He only tops Eri because Tatsua's there. Let's be realistic. Eri would take Toma to Pound Town 7 out of 10 times.
you know, I know we're talking about performative edgelording angsts, but I am so uncomfortable having this imagery in my head
Of Toma topping?
of Toma. Of Toma.
Of Toma.
The end.
That's
No,
the trigger. That's the
yes,
trigger.
actually. Oh my
Gucci. Yeah, he can't top Ryuichi.
Maybe not.
Carola's just disassociating.
I am. And you know, it doesn't help. Like, again, my senses are very dulled. I feel like I'm not even here. It is so fucked up. And then, you know, I keep losing you in one ear. So it's all very.
You poor thing. Just
Oh
struggling.
I am. I am this close to, like, getting out another pair of headphones, but I can't be bothered.
Oh gosh, life is so hard.
Yeah.
Life is.
It is really hard. You don't understand.
But yeah, like using other people as an emotional gauge is like a big neurodivergent thing, which again, shocker. Turns out I was the neurodivergent the whole time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know how anyone could have thought that I was. I was hiding it so well.
To be fair, going back to the whole misogyny of the situation, AFABs are not neurodivergent.
No.
At least not in the 90s.
No. That was to this day I still struggle with ADHD being like a white boy's disease.
Right?
Like it's a condition that only happens to white preteen boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day magically they grow out of it, or some of them become soldiers or cops and go be racist somewhere else.
Excellent.
And they still have the ADHD. But like that was such a weird thing for me, was like trying to put myself into the same box as what I had always been told ADHD was just white boys acting out. I didn't have that. I didn't do that. I wasn't disruptive in class.
No?
I wasn't, I could read.
I say that as if I was there.
You were, oh my God. You would have found me. You would have found me either incredibly fascinating or entirely insufferable. There is no in between.
No, no.
You would have either been like, I must worship this person like the gods of old, or I hate this individual with a burning passion.
I'm just gonna go with insufferable because that was how I looked at most people.
Yeah. Yeah. You. CPTSD and my ADHD. Yes!
Woohoo!
Welcome to therapy.
Therapy
Austria
with
would
the
be the
Yowie Shelf.
Austria would be the worst therapist. Oh my god.
No, Poland would be the
Okay,
worst
I'm not
therapist.
even going to Poland for assistance. So that's not even in the. I rather there are 50 things I rather ask for help than consult Poland.
It's like consult Poland for literal, actual emotional issue. I can
Yeah,
relate. Like, I could not find the correct shade of nail polish this morning, and
I
I
would
am so triggered right now.
I would prefer to ask a large tree.
You'd probably get a better answer.
I'd
Let's
get a
be
better
fair.
response. But I can imagine someone has likely gone to Austria asking for advice and just getting like, "Have you tried praying about it?"
But like, if we follow anime rules, of course you'd go see Austria. Austria is a Megane character. That makes him smart.
He's dumb as a brick.
But he doesn't look dumb.
He's,
Good lord,
they're all dumb.
America also has glasses, doesn't he?
Huh?
America also has glasses.
Yeah, they're all dumb as bricks. Like,
Good
don't go.
god. Okay, no, no. Oh no.
Also, my obsession with the horrible murderous partridge has only gotten worse.
Of course it has. This reminds you, this reminds you, it reminds me that I'm gonna send you a tweet I saw that made me think of you when we get out of here, when I am back in my regular browser.
I have my obsession with the horrible murderous partridge continues to grow. Why do I love him so much?
Because he's a murderous partridge and he's very round.
He's so round. He's so round. I just want to hold it. That's emotional dysregulation. It's like, who's your favorite character? I don't know. This murderer. But I want to definitely zone in on again. Liking darker themes does not make you a bad person. I know
No.
aunties would love to make you feel that way. But liking darker themes does not make you a bad person. It does not make you lesser. It does not mean that you one to one want the things that happen in your fiction to happen in real life. That's actually what we're going to talk about next month.
Mm.
It's like having Halloween twice.
Yes. Good.
It's actually like having two Halloweens because we're going to be talking about our horrible taste in fictional men.
Speak for yourself. My taste in men is actually in fictional men is perfect. They have done nothing wrong. There are reasons for everything. And they're perfect.
Stairs in Mafia.
What is wrong with Mafia? Leave my Mafia murder husbands alone.
What is wrong? Speaking of Mafia, happy birthday, Domeki from Twittering Birds Never Fly.
Yes. There was a our Twitter feed was nicely flooded by Domeki the other day.
Good.
It was nice.
He deserves to have his birthday celebrated. Even though I imagine it would make him very uncomfortable.
Well, it is his birthday, and we will baby girl him if we want to.
I've done been baby girling that murderer.
Really?
I love him.
I know.
Well, sidebar. Him on his own, I think, is as rough and dry as cat litter. Him as a foil to Yashiro is the best thing that God's ever created. It's like sandwich ingredients. Just the cheese on its own could only be so good. But when paired with bread and meat and such, it's much better.
This reminds me, and I cannot even remember who told me this, but I literally found out this week that halloumi is a cheese.
You didn't know
Halloumi?
halloumi was a cheese?
No.
What did you think it was?
I don't know. Like just some sort of like vegan
No, it's cheese.
thing that pretends to be meat.
No, it's cheese. It's a
I
dairy
just
product.
oh my god. Someone told me this week and I was like, "What? Really?" And then I had to Google it because I didn't believe them. And then I saw a cat named Halloumi on Instagram and it made me happy.
Because halloumi is a squeaky cheese.
Huh.
Yeah. Pan fry that, add honey, and then eat with bread. Delicious meal.
Hmm.
In Austria, who is also went to France.
I was going to say, is Austria like a big cheese country?
So Austria has one of my favorite cheeses. But they do also have a lot of very happy cows.
Yes.
So there is a good amount of cheese there. It is not like the main cheese producing area of Europe, which is weird to even think about because the Danish have fucking cheese.
I mean, we have cheese.
I know you have cheese.
We have brown cheese
Why is it brown?
because it's caramelized and made from goat's milk and it's very good. Did I
Sounds
not
good.
have I not sent you some?
No, ma'am.
Well, I will send you some.
No, I would remember petrified cheese.
It's not petrified. It's very good. I will send you some. I do have a
Well,
box I need to send you, which has been sitting here for 7,000 years.
I guess I'll need to send you some American canned cheese.
Canned. like in a goofy movie.
I mean, I was gonna send you the nice canned cheese because there is like a nice version of that. But if you want the aerosol cheese, I can send you aerosol cheese.
No! I don't think that's legal.
It gets stopped at customs.
Oh god, I'm surprised your Kool-Aid made it through, honestly.
Have you had it yet?
No, cuz I was going to make some, but then I realized I'd have to like make a picture
Yeah.
and like not just like a glass, so I haven't
No,
made it.
please do not just make a glass. Send the craft. You want government cheese?
Government cheese.
I can send government cheese.
I live in fear. Okay, sure.
Just horrified. Yeah, no, there's actually like a brand that makes like a nice tinned cheese. I was gonna send you the nice canned cheese. If you want the Goofy Movie spray cheese, that is
No,
actually easier to send.
I don't think so.
You, why don't you think so?
It doesn't look. No.
Because then you put a cracker on top and you spray up, and it makes a little shape around the cracker.
Hmm. Okay, no. I'm intrigued. What is this live? It's like, hello. Let's trauma dump and talk about cheese.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's most of the European nations in Italia.
Hmm. Literally.
That's okay. You've just described Italia. Let's dump, make sexual innuendo, and then talk about food.
Yeah.
You've described the episode. It was not my childhood. So see, Carola, notice the spelling of cheese.
Yes.
So it legally can't be called cheese spelled correctly because it's not the same food.
Good lord.
They legally can't call it.
I mean, we have cheese doodles, and they spell cheese like that, but I think that's just because they wanted to be like edgy. Also, it's Swedish.
Yeah, no. So cheese whiz is spelled like that because under the FDA, it's legally not cheese. It's a cheese product.
Have I expressed how afraid I am of American food products?
Yes, you have. Which is why you got a shirt from Cracker Barrel for Christmas.
I love the shirt from Cracker Barrel. It is, in fact, incredibly comfortable.
It's like, yes, you have multiple times, which is why you got a Cracker Barrel shirt in neon blue Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I am a little bit afraid of the Kool-Aid.
And remember, the powder is not sweetened.
No, you have to add sugar.
Yes,
Yeah. But you sent me like 2 packs, right?
I did.
Yeah, because I can find one, and I swear the other one must have like walked off by itself, and this terrifies me. Because I put them both in the cupboard, and I can only find one,
The
and I'm
other
like,
one grew legs.
oh no, the Kool-Aid man is coming. Oh no.
Oh man, you brought back my favorite existential question. Is
About
the
the
Kool-Aid
Kool-Aid?
man the pitcher or the juice?
Oh no. I mean, oh yeah. I mean, oh my god.
This is us not wanting to talk about trauma further.
Does anyone have anything they want to share with the class? Tell
Yeah.
us about terrible things you did as an edgy fandom teen.
Yes, or if you have any questions about the episode, we would love to hear them. But yeah, that's always one of my favorite existential questions: is the Kool-Aid man the pitcher, or is he the juice?
His face is on the picture though, right?
Yes,
So
but in a recent commercial, he takes a shower.
I don't know.
America is very confusing.
You think?
What is the first question? So he's both.
Okay.
This is official.
It sounds like a cop out.
It is. Yeah, he is both, apparently.
How? Why?
Go ask Kool-Aid. I'll send you the address. You can write a letter.
Wow.
Is it like
Venom,
Venom or something?
my beloved. What?
I don't like it. I don't like it. You scared me.
Listen, last week before we recorded Patreon, Amanda tried to tell me that I am a monster fucker, and I
Almost like I'm 100% correct.
but
What
then
else do you... Yes.
no, but the details around what a monster is are a little iffy.
What the fuck is Venom?
I don't know. A blob. Which no, but like okay, but I mean, like we briefly discussed this, but you know how they say, like monster movies, and then it's like Dracula. Everyone wants to fuck vampires.
Not every vampire. Who wants to lay with Nosferatu?
No, I'm very excited
Thank
about the new Nosferatu, though. I'll say that. Not
Same,
for the
but-
not for that reason.
Right. Oh, you can be the judge. Perfect.
Mika, don't call Venom a space parasite. That is so
But that's what the symbiote is.
No! when you put it like that, that is so ew.
That's what he is.
Ew.
What do you think he is? Just tar?
Yes.
No.
No, I don't know.
So the symbiote comes to Earth because J. Jonah Jameson's son, who is an astronaut, brings it back with him from a failed mission in which J. Jonah Jameson's son ends up becoming a space werewolf.
A space werewolf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ew! No!
And the symbiote needs another life form to live. That's why it attaches to a host. It first tried to attach to Peter Parker, but Peter was like, hey, this is making me kind of a dick and I don't like this. So then it moved to Eddie Brock, who already was a massive asshole.
And now he's married. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love them.
Also, keep in mind, my canon Venom is like the 90s cartoon version where he's just like...
Yes! Yeah. But I love the 90s cartoon version from the Spider-Man cartoon.
It needs someone else to live with, which is very romantic.
Yeah, right? I mean, they are a little codependent, but I like toxic relationships. So
it needs someone to live. I can't.
Just imagine the symbiote's like, Eddie, I can't live without you. I mean, literally.
Yeah, literally.
Bless. I love them. I love them. Ugh, beautiful.
Sure.
Beautiful.
I'm just glad there's another Deadpool ship out there so people can stop shipping him with Peter Parker.
No, because they're heart mates. And I have said this before, and I am saying it again. Andrew Garfield, what are you doing? Put that suit on and make out with Ryan Reynolds. I need it.
But Ryan Reynolds as a cancer tumor. Because if it's just Ryan Reynolds and Andrew Garfield, yeah, sign me up.
I mean, they've already made out a ton of times, which is why the Spidey pool should be happening. Well, also,
now he has...
there was an old interview with Andrew Garfield in which he said that he thinks that Peter Parker should have a boyfriend. Therefore,
it can only be Deadpool.
I will watch it. I'm going to watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but
I'm going to watch it. I'm not enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, but like I'm not a big Wolverine fan. And then, you know, obviously while everyone else was very excited, I was disappointed because I was like, what do you mean Deadpool and Wolverine? Where's Spidey Pool? I was so mad.
I think my big thing is, I know there's like cameo on cameo on cameo in this movie. And usually that feels very cheap to me, but I'm curious to see it. Yeah, the ship, I understand it physically, but also those are literally the worst two men. Literally.
I don't know. Wolverine is too manly.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not a lithe twink.
Yes. Exactly.
He's not a hairless lithe twink. I apologize.
Do you have a problem with my
He's a 17th century lumberjack from Canada. I'm so sorry that he has body hair and is canonically supposed to be 5'2".
Well, I don't care about his height. But there's too much bulk.
Oh, I apologize. I'll be sure to go to the creators post-haste and let them know the travesty that has been wrought upon this design.
I'm not saying that you need to take a responsibility for this.
Good, because I don't.
And it's like fine if like people can enjoy Wolverine's physique, but I need my twinks.
Deadpool's not a twink either.
No. But
make your rules make sense to me.
No, but if Deadpool is bending Spider-Man in half, I'm fine with it.
This is favoritism.
Because Spidey is the twink in that relationship. In the relationship between Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool is the twink. Which, you know, okay, yes. He's not a twink, but in comparison.
Yeah, because Logan's like 300 years old. Because Logan's literally centuries years old and hates everyone.
As he should.
Not the twink trainer.
This is true. I'm allergic. In the words of Janet Weiss, I don't like men with too many muscles.
Plus, since they're both indestructible, oh, yeah, you could vor them.
Yeah, good point.
It's not my favorite thing to do with them, but you could do that.
It's like I love how we talk about them like they're literally like action figures. Like that's not my favorite thing to do with them, but
Is that not what this whole show is?
I mean, yes.
Like, I've been dying actually because I've been writing a lot more fan fiction. I want to go back and do that like BL tropes episode and be like, what does it actually mean when we say BL tropes? Because I definitely noticed similarities in my fic
Mm,
that are aligned with what I learned from BL.
yeah.
One of it being this, again tying it to BL misogyny, is this very like males as idealized women. That's something I still have to write out every once in a while. They're already making weird holes in each other in the movie. Why not shove a dick in it? I love our fans.
But I mean, yes.
Please don't.
Tell me Wade will not fuck anything that has a hole.
It's just so unsanitary.
Yes. But again, they can heal, so it's probably fine on some level. I don't know. But no, but yeah, I agree. And again, because we are contractually obligated to talk about writing at least once per calendar year.
Yes.
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 Because we're very good at it.
I'm just saying he's unsanitary.
You know, I learned a phrase yesterday because my girlfriend and I, we were torturing ourselves and reading about the various ways in which a man can be gay, such as eating soup, eating pussy, and of course the infamous wiping your ass. And so we fell down a rabbit hole of straight men being unsanitary because everything else is gay. And I learned the term septic masculinity. You're welcome.
Or you just where men just die because they can't accept hygiene or anything.
Yeah. Yes. But it's just, that is not what we are talking about on this episode. But I'm just, if
no, but it does tie back into morbid curiosity.
Yeah. And if sexuality was a choice, no one would date straight men. No one.
Oh my goodness. Someday there will be someone who accuses us of being misandrist.
I'm not. I just hate people.
You're just
I am a misanthrope. Yeah. Don't bring sexism into this. I hate everyone equally, and I'm a pansexual.
Oh my goodness.
Which, is terrible.
It's not terrible. It's interesting. But it's not terrible. Let's see. Literally, yes.
Trans men out there saving everyone.
Yeah. Oh, God. So many unwashed body parts.
I hate it here.
I also hate it. But yeah, you think about like morbid curiosity and things that lead you down rabbit holes, and like there's definitely what I think is amazing, and I guess it's that like emotional connection, is that there's so many like real life upsetting things that I've seen that bother me much less than like weird fictional things I've seen. Like, again, true crime. Watched a lot of mutilated bodies.
Mm-hmm.
That bothers me infinitely less than two fictional gay men being sad. And it's likely a bunch of things about like attachment and everything like that.
Yeah, probably.
I don't want to be fun. Yeah, somehow the unhygienic men always win.
Why?
I don't know why. But so like I remember people learning about Carl Tanzler and his corpse bride. You don't know about Carl Tanzler?
I probably do. I just can't remember the name.
So Carl Tanzler was a German man living in Florida. That's all you need to know.
Fucking Florida.
And he was convinced by this hallucination dream of a past ancestor that he was going to like find his perfect woman, and it would be like in the place that he least expects it. Blah 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 blah. Tansler worked as a radiologist in a hospital, which is where he met a young woman named Elisa. Elisa was a young Hispanic woman who was dying of tuberculosis, and Tansler saw her and was like, I love this woman. The girl,
Tuberculosis, the
yeah,
most romantic of all disease.
yes. The girl creeped out. Her family also creeped out. Tansler is like, I can pay for all of her expensive medications if you keep letting me hang out with her. And the family's like, sus, but okay.
Oh my god.
So Elisa dies because she has tuberculosis. And Tansler's like, I'm covering the funeral. I got this. Don't worry. I'm going to pay for everything. She's going to have this grand, beautiful crypt. I got this. Family is like, thank you. We couldn't have really afforded to bury her without this. One day, Elisa's sister goes to visit the crypt and discovers it's empty.
Da, da, da.
And she's like, what the fuck, Carl? Where's my sister? And Carl's like, don't fucking worry about it, but also don't come to my house. Tansler had taken the woman's body pretty much immediately after the funeral, filled her up with his own proprietary mix of like embalming fluid and other poisonous things.
The bells are ringing,
yeah. And he made a mask for her made out of mostly paper mache to, you know, keep the rot away. He'd also buy her wigs. He'd go into town and buy her gifts.
Oh,
and people would ask, when do we get to see your wife? Eventually, the police were called because the family's like, where the fuck is our daughter? And Carl's just like operating her like a marionette. Like, I'm fine.
As if the family didn't know she was already dead?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Okay. They, being Carl and Elisa, abscond to Carl's boat plane, where eventually Tansler is captured because putrefaction begins to set in without all of his weird chemicals. Absolutely horrifying. Tansler is eventually arrested and convicted of misuse of a corpse. But he serves virtually no jail time.
No.
The family does recover the body of the young lady. Her condition is questionable at best. Tansler insisted until the day he died he never did anything impure with the body. No one believes him.
Can't imagine why.
No, not a single person. To the day he died, he insisted he would never do something like that. And everyone stared at him and was like, fuck off. So I've seen like Tansler's Corpse Bride. I've seen her.
Yeah.
I've been much more affected by fictional gay men than the paper mache literal dead person.
Yeah. But again, you know,
that's interesting. Huh?
Yeah, but it's kind of like I think it has a lot to do with, like you said, you know, that it's about the emotional attachment. And I think that a lot of us, especially us like true crime people, like I'm not saying that I don't feel empathy for the victims and the families in true crime cases. Like obviously I do, but I think that a lot of us, when we watch these things, we go into it kind of knowing what to expect, so we kind of like turn off that switch. But if you are reading something and you know you're invested in these fictional characters and then you kind of get it thrown at you, or like it's different.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I'm listening to true crime, I know there's going to be some atrocities.
Yeah, and I also think like a lot of it is like I can't remember the context of this conversation, but I was talking to, I think it was my mom, and we were like talking about like I will watch documentaries and like filmatizations or whatever of like actual things that happen. Correct. Yes, yeah, exactly. Like yeah, and but if it's something that didn't happen long enough ago, it's like, when they had in 2011, when there was that massacre in Norway with that guy who shot all those kids.
I remember that.
Yeah, and like that isn't something that happens here, so the entire country was all,
Thank you, Carola.
I'm sorry, but it's true. We
I
don't.
know. I'm
Yeah,
aware.
but it was like, it's still such an open wound for the
Mhm.
entire country, and then for someone then to make a film about it just 10 years after it happened, it's like, that feels terrible. And
Yeah.
like, and I'm not saying that, and I mean, obviously it's also terrible if you make a film about something that happened in, like 1890, but we weren't alive then. You have that, you are removed from it. It's ancient history.
Yeah, and I think it's that storytelling aspect of it, and I think one of the other big things again is framing. Like again, if you're
Yeah.
watching true crime, no one is rooting for Carl Tanzler. No one is
No.
saying.
I mean, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, some people think he did nothing wrong. Most,
Yeah, most of us are,
most
yeah.
of us.
Like,
Uh,
you are watching true crime because you are fascinated, like morbidly curious, but also because you want to know that these people were punished, that
mhm.
justice was done.
And sometimes it's just not.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm I love this idea of one, that angst being performative, because as we discussed in the episode at length, it is.
Yeah.
That two, how much of that is rooted in misogyny?
Mm-hmm.
And three, how much of that is internalized? Because yeah, like to this day, like you have to give off, or at least like, older fans, I feel like we still have to give off this air of like imperviousness, that like
Mm-hmm.
nothing can bother us, or
Yeah.
like some things can bother us. Like we can experience sadness, but we can't experience like shock or disgust.
Mm. Yeah.
Like there's a very limited range of emotions that like especially older fans are allowed to exhibit. Because like
Mm.
again, shonen background, the episode when Hughes dies in Full Metal Alchemist brought my entire friend group to tears. You would
Mm.
have thought an actual person died. We were all wearing all black. All of us were crying. There was so much smeared makeup. You
Yeah.
know, you would think a real human being died.
Yes.
So we were allowed to express that kind of emotion, but like thinking that the scene was gory or
Mm.
thinking that it was overly violent, that wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
And I still think that emotional regulation, that emotional control is still very much being used in fandom. Is that you are allowed to express some emotions, but not all of them. And hence why we
Yeah.
have this whole anti and Puritan madness where they're policing desire and other feelings.
Mm.
Um, I like that tweet you retweeted where it's like, imagine talking to your friends and they discover you're a pro shipper. It's like, they're also pro shippers. What do
Yeah.
you mean? Like, if I talk to Carola about my ship, she tells me about her ship.
Yeah. And
We
sometimes
go
we
sail
fight
off.
about them, but
And
like,
sometimes we fight about them. But
but
for
in
the
a
most part,
civilized
we're aware.
way.
Yeah, in a normally civilized manner. But then we're both on the boat. Like the idea that it's like some kind of like coming out issue. Like imagine when they find out you're gay.
Oh my god.
Imagine
Brave
when
of
they
you to
discover.
assume that they're also not gays.
It's like imagine that your friend is a pro shipper. It's like I don't have to imagine it. They all are. What do
And
you
it's
mean
like, even
imagine?
when you talk to people who aren't even in this, you know, community, who aren't in fandom, and I try to explain this, they still are on the sides of the pro shippers because we are, because it's fiction.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I also think that, and again, like, my brain isn't functioning, so I'm gonna try to like word this in a way that makes sense outside of my head. But like, obviously, we are in the right here because we, as we've talked about a million times on this show, yes, fiction can affect reality, of course, and
Mhm.
you know, your feelings are gonna be valid, but being puritanical and anti and trying to control other people's preferences and emotions and trying to like basically decide what should be legal and not, like, that is
Mhm.
ridiculous. And so obviously that approach is ridiculous, but I also think that because we went through that phase of, being so performative and being so in your face and exposing ourselves and each other to all of these very much disturbing things that we insisted on sitting through, I think that we are also especially prickly towards, the antis and the puritans, because it's like, oh, you think that's bad, like
Yeah.
you got, yeah, like, you got your panties in a twist over this.
Well, and we
this
talk about that, I think, every episode. That
yeah,
it's like, oh, if you think this is bad, just wait until you figure out what we had to read. It's like, but no one made you read this.
no,
No, no one was. This wasn't a Clockwork Orange. No one was holding a gun to your head and making you read it. It felt that way societally sometimes,
hmm.
but it was never like the idea of being forced to read something.
The only people who can force you to read something are your teachers.
Right. Like like the idea
Back when we were taught reading in schools.
you're still taught reading, it's the kids who can't read. They still teach it, but a lot of American children now are very illiterate.
Oh, we are nearing the illiteracy over here as well. Don't worry.
Yeah, a lot of American kids are very illiterate. Also, update, my aunt asked to see my costume for today, and I told her no, because if she calls me Austin Powers, I'm going to hit her.
I mean,
I'm going to do her physical harm. So I told her she can see my Halloween costume from work, which I'll be working on after this.
which
She does
is,
not get to see this. Oh, I'm doing pom pom pouring. Nothing fancy.
oh, cute.
Yeah, but
You
no, she
will
does not get to see this.
you will share it with us, yes?
I will share it with you. Yeah, because I know exactly what she's going to
No, but
say.
I'm not gonna lie. I think of it sometimes when I see Austria in the blue outfit.
Right, like no, and I don't think it's wrong,
It's
but that's what she's
Austria
gonna say.
Powers.
And like, but I know that's exactly what she's gonna say, and I'm going to fling myself off a bridge.
Oh
Because despite her fables of being so understanding and so knowledgeable, she does not know the reference. She does not know who I'm dressed up as. And she's going to say Austin Powers, and I'm going to have a nervous breakdown because I didn't paint a fucking beauty mark under my eye that y'all can't see in liquid eyeliner to be mistaken for Austin Powers.
no. I mean, in that case, you'd have to have the beauty mark over here or something, right?
I don't fucking remember his face. I haven't studied that movie.
I love Austin Powers.
I didn't say it was bad.
No, but the thing is, my friend and I, we will have, like, at least before life happened and got crazy, but we celebrate unbirthday parties, and somehow part of our annual unbirthday party became watching Austin Powers Goldmember, which is the worst film, but it's
It
just become
is.
a thing that we
Yeah,
do.
but it is also weirdly iconic.
Yeah, and so yeah, I have memorized Austin Powers' face. Also, a staple in every figure skating season is that someone has an Austin Powers program somewhere, and they're always very fun.
I'm feeling called out by my regular Twitter. Someone retweeted the meme of you get $100 million, but you have to fight an anime character and win. And the person that I know chose Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist to beat up, and it's like, Mm. I have to go, but it was so nice having you. We'll be
Same here.
wrapping up
So
shortly, so don't
funny.
feel too bad.
Yeah.
Because I would like to get out of this vest. It's hot.
My head feels kind of constricted.
Yeah, I feel like I feel very muffled because there's headphones, wig, and then wig cap.
Yeah.
So I feel very yeah. It's sensory hell.
I'm not wearing a wig cap, but I have one of those bands around my head to like keep the wig from slipping, and
No,
it's
I
a
had to.
little too tight.
It's yeah. I had to wear a wig cap today. It's the my favorite thing was always when, especially like a very certain kind of like weeb man would be like, I want a sexy cosplayer girlfriend.
Tell me you don't know a thing about cosplay.
Right. And like there's a meme response to it that's like, it's like remove second pair of tights, you know?
Right?
Lifts wig cap caked in makeup. It's like we're
Oh,
not like the idea like I understand the idealized like sexy cosplayer, but like even the ones that you think just like enter this costume like a second skin, the process of getting into it is deeply unsexy.
yeah.
And then you get actual nerds like us who aren't dressing up as beautiful tits out women. Then you get
Yeah.
the real nerds who are like, I'm fucking Leon Kennedy from.
And it's like, I mean, I have said this so many times, I am actually horrific at doing makeup. And I think that at this distance with my bad camera, it doesn't look that bad. But if you see me up close, there is nothing sexy about this.
Just I love that misconception. Like you still get it. It's like, oh, I want a sexy because like I'll when I was trying to date, it's like, oh yeah, I cosplay. Ooh, you bring your costume to the bedroom. Like if you get semen on this outfit, I'm cutting
Right.
off your dick.
And it's like, even like most of my cosplays are like either like I buy them or
Yeah,
they're like this, like closet cosplays.
right. Same.
But imagine spending hundreds of hours on something and then some guy wants you to have sex in it.
No,
No.
absolutely. Also, then you are somehow implying that you want to sleep with Taki Aizawa, and now I'm more interested, but also horrified.
It's just because they don't know who Taki Aizawa is. Or that that's what you're going to be cosplaying instead of, boobs out Hatsune Miku or something.
Yeah, because typically if I'm cosplaying as a horrible man,
Yeah, same.
just pulling boys dressed as Taki Aizawa.
Which, contrary to actual Taki Aizawa, who is a horrible man and is not pulling anyone.
I mean, I guess he gets pulled rather than he does the pulling.
Hmm. How do you think his band was signed? I'm just saying.
Oh, I meant by his actual bandmate. I was talking canon. Do you think he had to lay for? No.
I'm
Tell
not saying he
him
had to. But I'm
he just
saying,
did. He just felt like it.
I'm just saying he
Toma
was
actually
probably,
sitting there. Put your clothes back on.
but he was probably propositioned, and he was like, "Why the fuck?" Okay, but imagine this, because okay, a member of Little Grasper is sitting before you,
Yes.
and they tell you to take your clothes off.
Yes.
I mean, Toma is already incredibly abusive with his power, so why the hell not?
I'm sorry, but the way you phrase it, I imagine that Aiza was just like, all right, I'm ready, and just like rips his clothes off in Toma's office, and Toma's just like, please put your shirt back on, sir.
I mean, I can see it.
No, he's only desperate for his one bandmate.
I do love the Ask threesome dojin. I do. It's
If they're going to pierce him, they should do it correctly.
yeah. I mean, there's that, but
Like that was deeply upsetting to me.
like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I just don't think my Lord and Savior Murakami Sensei is a pro piercer.
No.
I think, but like
Devil's advocate, Google exists.
Google did not exist when she made that.
Okay. Enough logic exists and that you're not just heating up a needle and forcing it through skin. It didn't work behind the weight room. It's not going to work now.
Oh my god.
I love that horrible man.
I
Speaking of,
love
next month's episode,
horrible men.
horrible
Rather, our
fictional men.
collective taste in terrible fictional men.
Yes, because I think, and again, I'm sure our experiences are, yes, finally I can get the calendar in dark mode. Oh my god. Um, at first, while being a villain fucker has always been this kind of like social thing, it was never taboo, but it was always deeply understood that that wasn't correct. Like, I knew from a very early age I should not like Shao Tucker.
Good!
I knew that those feelings were incorrect.
I think that next month when we cover this, not that this is a competition, but Amanda's gonna win. Because I also have some terrible men, but they are terrible in a different way. Or maybe it's just because they are so baby girl-fied that listen. But I think that compared to Shao Tucker.
So if you're saying if I could baby girl Shao Tucker.
No. That is, I don't want you to do
what I'm
that is not what I said.
What I'm hearing is that if I baby girl Shao Tucker.
No! I will quit. I am quitting this podcast right now. Like I will put up with a lot of things, but I will draw the line.
What I'm hearing is that someone needs to baby girl Shao Tucker. And as I have already baby girled the relationship between Eri and Kitazawa, I am the perfect deviant to do so.
I mean, yes, I think actually if someone's gonna do it, I will give that to you. Like, there's
time to baby girl a child murderer. But we're going to talk about that collective response. And I think also, again, tying it back to like shock and performance.
Yeah, I think a nice part too, actually. Yeah.
You know, is when that goes too far. So like there are characters that I've listened that I'm like, this guy is fine. And Carola is like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Which I do feel like kind of says a lot.
Yes. Yes, it does. It speaks volumes. It's louder than me. Yes. Because there's fictional characters that I'll bring up, and Carola's just like, that's a literal coke dealer, Amanda.
But also going back to you calling me a monster fucker, because this was part of that conversation. Because I realized I also have a child killer. But that is my involuntary attraction to Freddy Krueger, which we are not talking about next month. So I'm going to bring him up here.
Did God touch you as you were being formed in the womb?
I'm just saying that I have not asked for these dreams, but they keep happening. And I don't understand. And Mika, if you're still here, you can confirm because you know me in real life. And
yes.
Yes, no, I'm not gonna quit. Unless
I'm gonna make that man such a baby girl.
Help. I am asking for help.
I'm gonna baby girl that murderer so hard. Spain is not helping you. Spain is not. He is not going to rescue you.
Why would Spain rescue Poland?
Literally, it's like he would. It's bad enough he ignores literally everyone else. He is not listening to Poland.
Oh my god. Lithuania!
You can't keep using him as a shield.
But he's my man.
You sold him to be piped.
But I want him back.
Hey, imagine like getting a return. Kitty.
Sansa went to the vet this week.
Was he good?
No. He had his blood drawn, and he made it everyone's problem.
Same.
They had to bring in a second vet to hold him. They put him in a cone of shame, which he somehow got out of. He fought like a banshee, and when they were shaving his leg so that they could draw his blood, he was growling back at the clippers because they make sound, so he felt threatened and growled back. He was terrible. We still don't have his results because they haven't called me back, and our vet was Danish. And he came into the room. Sansilla was indeed summoned. And he came into the room and he introduced himself and he said some garbled noises that I took to mean, hello, my name is Rasmus. And then he said, and I am Danish. And I whimpered.
Why are you like this?
Because if you only knew. Because we're supposed to understand each other. But we don't.
Why are you like this? Okay, I bought a pass. My aunt doesn't want to see today's costume. Thank God.
Yay!
I just told her, like, this, it's not very good. Like, I'm lying. It's okay. But it's like,
I mean,
no, this one's not good.
Handsome.
Thank you. Like, I'll show you the better one this week. This one is, I pulled this together too quickly and swore making a cravat.
It's a nice cravat.
I swore so many times making this fucking
and you
cravat,
were given a bath.
which almost ended in burns.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my steamer decided, hey, you want to share this hot water?
Sexy.
This boiling hot water? Would you like some?
Good God.
As much as I like Dobby, I don't want to share in being marked like that. Jesus.
Oh God.
But fortunately, no burns and no bruising from my copious amount of blood work that I've had to do this month.
Yeah.
Leave the Danes alone.
But you don't understand.
I nearly married one.
Yeah, but you didn't learn the language.
I learned some of it.
And it's like, it's just noise. It is just noise.
Oh my God.
And we're supposed to understand them, but it's not. No.
Okay.
No.
Please. We cannot continue to slander the Danish.
Yes, we can. I am Norwegian. Not today. Today I'm Polish. I'm sorry to everyone Polish, by the way. I love Poland.
Can literally not name a Polish thing.
Yes, I can. Bloober Team. They're a video game company. They just released Silent Hill 2, the remake. And they are, yes, tell Sandra I love her. She's Polish. Don't
Is your
let her
girlfriend there?
No.
Oh, the comment. I was like, who the fuck are you talking to?
No, Sandra's our mutual friend's girlfriend.
No, I see it now. But at first I was like, who the fuck are you talking to?
No, it's just my vast harem of women.
Oh my God, I was concerned. It's like, what ghost showed up?
Do you really want to, think about that question? There's only one ghost, you know this. There's only one. The ghost Twink from Eerie Query. That is the only...
Oh, because he's the best.
He's the best. He's a good boy.
Next, committed suicide, and his lover was too much of a coward to jump.
We need to cosplay them.
I was gonna say next year's cosplay.
Yeah. Yes. Unless we do Loveless. I am not giving up hope.
I would rather roll down a hill like a wheel of cheese.
Also, I am going to take that back. There is another ghost because I just realized I have a ghost. I have a ghost Twink myself whose story I am intending to start publishing in the near future. I am
I was
sorry, I
gonna say,
forgot about you, sweetheart.
you've already forgotten about him. You made him, and you've already forgotten about him.
The worst part is I was literally editing his story like 2 days ago.
You, ugh,
I am terrible.
the
He's gonna
disrespect.
haunt me. I am going to die. Hish Sansa.
You're going to manifest your own ghost twink.
Oh no.
All right. Since it's been an hour and 45 minutes and we're insane and clearly losing brain capacity thanks to wigs.
Wigs? Oh, dangerous. I also have tape on my face and it's very like.
It's a sensory thing.
Yeah. I'm also not very good at it. I can't even tell the difference. Like, I don't even have a nice jawline.
Oh, because you got to yank that shit back.
I know, but it kept. It's like, I don't know. I can't.
You got to like yank that shit.
Ugh, I hate it here. I need to learn contouring. Like, I can't live like this anymore.
I need to learn contouring for black people because all of the base shades that white people use are lighter than my skin tone. So I need to learn how to contour for melanin. But thank you all for listening. We had a lovely time with this episode. Remember, the conversation never truly ends.
It does not.
So if you do have any other comments or questions about the episode, please feel free to let us know in the comments below. Thank you to our patrons over at Patreon who voted on our costumes this year. The one thing that we wanted received no votes.
But I mean, this is good.
I'm not mad.
No, like, I enjoy this. Like,
But the one we were gunning for received 0 votes.
I am so sad. I was so excited about the raccoon ears. I will do this at some point anyway.
I was gonna say, I feel like we're gonna end up doing this for like CitrusCon or something.
Yeah.
You're welcome for the free therapy.
You're welcome.
We will see you all in the next one. Americans, please go out and vote.
Please
this is
vote.
a threat. Also, I don't want to hear your shit about voting third party or Green Party. You're throwing away your vote.
Vote for Kamala.
Vote
or I'm coming
this
over
is not,
there.
Yeah, this is not optional.
This is a threat.
This is a threat. So get out there and vote. I completely understand if you're anxious or disabled or anything like that. I'm also anxious and was horribly overstimulated while I had to go vote because there was actually like a horror thing going on, like a horror market. So there's like people with like fake chainsaws and masks everywhere.
I'm just throwing it out there. Why would you have a horror market when this is literally a horror show already?
And when there's so much actual voting violence that happens, and there's such a history of voting violence, especially for Black people, that it's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do like Halloween horror nights during the voting time. Anyways, go vote.
Please.
I trust all of you. Remember, this vote impacts so much more than just us. Carola disassociates. So
like I'm over here, I'm far away from the US, it still impacts me. Please vote for
Kamala. It impacts literally everyone, and it impacts more people than you would ever assume.
Yeah.
Project 2025 is literally going to be genocidal for a great deal of people, and it is dangerous. Yeah. Please do not take me being in a wig to make this sound less serious. This election matters.
It really
Americans, does. Please go vote.
Please vote. I would vote if I could.
Yes, but that'd be fraud.
Really I'm really mad that we can't because it affects all of us. And honestly, we should.
I feel like at a certain point, you all should get a say.
Right?
But thank you so much for listening. We will see you next month to talk about fictional horrible men.
Yay!
See you guys later. Bye.
Have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.